Hello, my brothers and sisters. I want to make this video, and this video, or the topic I want to talk about, is deeply personal to me. At the same time, very impersonal. So you will, I think, at the end of the video, you will understand why I say that. So to start with, I want to talk a little bit about meditation. So you meditate to relax into being. You forget for a moment your concerns about the future and the past, and just try to be in the present moment, right? To relax into being. So I want to, so as I view it, the meditation is, since it's about relaxation, it's about trust. You want to trust in the universe, trust that you're taken care of. So meditation to me is about trust. And mindfulness, which is kind of similar, that is about when you're doing something slowly and you're doing it mindfully, kind of like a meditation. What you're doing actually is worshipping. You're in a state of awe of everything around you, right? That's what brings you to the moment, to whatever you do. If you're drinking tea, that you do it slowly, as an act of gratefulness for what you're receiving each moment. Each movement you do is kind of an act of gratitude. So for me, mindfulness is the meaning of it is gratefulness. So meditation is about trust, and mindfulness is about gratefulness. So these two are the ones I want to talk about quite extensively now: trust and gratefulness. So so gratefulness and trust are the main components of humbleness. So you are not humble. Humbleness is a result of you being trustful and grateful towards the world and yourself. So the act is being grateful and being, so that's something you do. You show gratefulness and you show trust. That's also something you do. And these two acts leads you to be in a life position, or in a state of humbleness. So these two components are what makes you humble: to show trust and to show gratefulness. And these two components, trust and gratefulness, also leads to love. So if you think about any moment that you have felt love for someone or something, it's either from a position of gratefulness or trust in something. So you always always when you love, what came before that feeling was of you being in a state of humbleness. That was what opened the door for love coming into your life at that moment. So when you're stuck in the past, what the two outcomes that can come out of that is either that you regret something, or that you either that you regret something or that you feel pride of something you have done. So staying in the past is it leads you to establishing the feeling of your ego. So you're kind of saying, it was me who did that thing in the past that you either regretful for or you feel proud of. And clinging on to the past therefore leads you to the ego, to a strong sense of your ego. And the future is is different, because when you cling to the future, you either think about you're worrying for something to happen, you feel fear, or you feel hopeful for some outcome that can happen. So when you cling to the future, you also cling to the ego, because it's the ego who wants to kind of change, or wants to cling to some event that's beneficial for you as a person, right? For your persona. Yeah. So therefore it's so important to be in the present moment, because that is the present moment is the gateway for you being able to be in a state of humbleness, and humbleness is what leads us to be able to love and also feel love. So yeah, so we're into something here about humbleness, and that it has a lot to do with trust and gratefulness. So you're seeing how this is kind of like a map of how everything fits together, right? With meditation as well being a precondition for trust, and mindfulness being a precondition for gratefulness. So when you're humble, if I want to talk about true humbleness now, if you want, because we want to deepen that humbleness, we want to feel it deeply, not just as a kind of shallow thing. I was humble at that moment. You want to, if you want to have love and happiness all the time, you want to, maintain that humbleness, not for only short moments. So how do we do that? That's what I'm gonna talk about here. So when you have trust, you also want to trust the inner voice inside of you talking, and your intuition. You want to listen to that voice, and that voice, that intuition that's telling you something. As soon as you take credit for it and saying that the voice is yours, that it's you actually talking, the voice will disappear, and it will be replaced by fear, and replaced by a feeling of dominating the life again. So as soon as we cling on to our identity about being we who are in control, we're losing that voice that's guiding us through our lives. And that's what also makes us create this false identity, this persona, and telling ourselves that persona is who we are. So the ego, it wants us to. So the ego always wants us to stay in the future, or staying in the past, so it can cling on to something where it's, because the past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist and the ego doesn't exist. So something, it has to be somewhere. So the ego can only exist where since it doesn't exist, it can only exist in the future or past, because they also do not exist. The ego cannot present itself in the present moment. So that's why I think the ego also always wants to cling on to these, to the future and the past. Yeah. And the ego, or the persona that you think you are, it's a concept, right, in your mind, and that concept, it also feeds on other concepts like the future, like I told you about, and the past, also concepts that only exist in your mind. So so to be truly humble, you need to realize one thing, like the secret sauce of life, and that's that nothing is yours. If you understand this, that nothing you ever did is yours, like nothing, none of your thoughts are yours, none of your feelings are yours, there's not even a you. That the concept of you or your identity is just something that you create as a convenience to make sense of the world, right? And that brings us out of the present moment. So only when you're truly humble and saying none of this, what I am, what I have done, what I have thought, what I have felt is mine. I have just borrowed this body, and I will return it when I die. But it's none of this in this life is mine. If you actually feel that and kind of appreciate that and try to think from that place or feel from that place that nothing is yours, then you can enter the present moment. And now you can be your true identity, which is only being. And being is connected with everything else. So that's how the magic sauce, as I said, happens. So you have so the key component here is actually feel, not only think this realization. You have to feel it, that you're not your persona and nothing belongs to you, not even your thoughts. So you can do a meditation over this, like, yeah, we can do it now. Take a couple of deep breaths, and now feel, and now start feeling your body, and feel that it's not you, it's something, it's like your transport mechanism. So when you notice thoughts coming up, realize that you're not producing them either. So the thoughts are not, they are not you as well. And the same goes with the feelings that come up. They're not yours either. They're just being produced by your body. So sit in this meditate over this, reflect over it, and feel how the universe is holding you together. You're actually resting in the universe. The universe is not requiring you to do anything. And feel the sense of trust that comes from that. So when you trust now you're in the position of trusting. Now you can just lean back and not do anything more. So this is what true humbleness is. And when you're entering into this space, sorrow can come up, because we all have sorrows. It's when you realize that you are only an illusion, a convenient illusion. Of course, this makes you feel that everything you thought before, everything you did was a lie, and a sense of, yeah, it's not strange that a sense of sorrow can come from that. But it's like waking up from a sweet dream, right? You're making love to someone and oh shit, it was not real. But in this sense it's much more deeper, right? Because it has to do with your life, with who you are. So but yeah, so you're realizing nothing is yours. But the thing about it is that you have actually felt this all your life. I think when we talk about the human condition, what the existentialists talk, Sartre and Camus, they talk about the human condition, right? That existential anxiety, or is it's like a part of life that we all have to deal with. I think that it's just life knocking on your head saying something you're thinking is wrong. It's life giving you a signal that you need to change you have to change something that you're thinking, that something is wrong. But instead of listening to that voice, we crave for things, for a new partner or a better job, better house, so we can empty that void. But I believe that this is something we need to grieve a little bit. We need to stay in that pain and feel it, and we need to cry about it. That's what we never did, right? We only shut the feeling down. So how do we cure it? So like I told you, like being true humble is a way of curing it. But to be truly humble, you have to go through a process of grief. It's not just you meditating and voila, now you're awakened, and you need to do it's more painful than that. So I have broken this down into a little guide. It's a 3-day retreat for yourself. So what it requires you to do is to go out into the woods. So you bring your tent. You go out far away from civilization and being in nature. And the first, so you do this for at least 3 days. You go out in nature, and the first day you develop your trust and your gratefulness. So you go out in the nature and feel grateful for all things that it's providing to you, and you also let yourself trust that nature will take care of you. So you have to, that's like the first day, what the first day is all about. So you like I said before, you you develop your trust by meditating a lot that day, and you develop your gratefulness by doing mindfulness exercises, like you do everything mindful. If you do tea, or you're walking in the woods, you do it mindfully and slowly and with appreciation. Then the second day comes, and now it's this I will call the crying, the weeping day. So you go up and you eat breakfast, and then you skip lunch, or you can also skip breakfast, it doesn't matter, but the important thing is that you fast during the day, so you're a little bit hungry in the afternoon, and around 4 o'clock, or when you feel a little bit vulnerable because you haven't ate anything, now you can do the power meditation. So in this vulnerable space, you close your eyes and you meditate, and you think about the appreciation you feel for life, the gratefulness you have, and also that you want to be in a state of trust. And you also think about nothing in your life is yours, that everything is borrowed, that your whole body is just a mechanism to transport from one place to another, that your thoughts are not even that you do not even exist, right? It's universe expressing itself through you. And now a bit of grief will come up, because you haven't ate for a while now, so now you're in this vulnerable space, and this is where the magic happens. So now you start think about all the wrongdoings that happened to you. So whether your father never gave you a hug, or that girlfriend or boyfriend that left you, whatever you feel sorrow about, you think about that, and so you start to feel really sad. It's important, because it's whatever tears comes now is the investment in your awakening, in the happiness that during the rest of your life, actually. So make sure you really can get a good cry now. But now that you cry, this is the important point, that you cry for the right reasons. So when you think about that girlfriend, for example, that left you, maybe, now you cry. You do not cry because she left you. You have to cry because you weren't humble enough, that you weren't showing her gratitude enough, or you didn't show trust in her enough. That's why you should cry. And remember, that's very important. Or if it's your father, for example, never gave you a hug, you cry because you didn't trust in his love enough, or that you were not showing gratefulness to him enough for all the other things he did for you. So now you cry, and cry really hard for this, and start to think of all the sorrows you have in your life, and cry because you weren't humble enough in these two senses, that you weren't either grateful or showing trust enough. So this is what kind of this is where you're in this space of true humbleness, and you will feel, when you're in this state, you're truly humble. You realize that you're not your body. You actually just are a mechanism for universe to express itself, just like a tree is an expression of the universe, and that you don't exist. Now when you feel that, you start to feel the trust coming in, and magic will happen now. You will hear a voice talking to you, and I won't say who that is, but you can ask that voice whatever question you have, whatever you're wondering about life. This voice will give you the answers to. But you need to feel this humbleness, otherwise nothing happens. As soon as you think you're creating something, that you're behind anything, it won't happen. Yeah. So this is what you do the second day. The third day, don't just go home. Now you have to integrate this experience. So the third day you have to, you think about what happened yesterday. Realize how you have been controlled in your whole life by your ego. How fear has controlled you in so many ways. Reflect on these things, how because something has changed in your mindset from this point now, and you need to understand who you are from a whole new point of view. But also remember now what the existential anxiety, the human condition that you have felt all your life, how this now makes sense. That sorrow was actually life poking your head saying, let me in, and how you have shut it out by thinking that you're in control, that you're making everything happen, right? So this is a quick way to awaken, I think. Just a 3-day retreat, but you have to actually want this to happen. If you're in some way stuck, or you're clinging on to something, no, I don't want to let that go, I did that, or I still, the love I feel for this thing is still mine, or not, you're not committed fully, and I don't think nothing in a deeper sense will happen. You have to really let go of yourself for this to be able to happen. But trust me, it's so worth it, and I'm sharing this because I want to bring others to this new way, this new life, because it's wonderful. Okay, take care.